welcome back to the port. I'm the Galloping Major, and this is a Let's Play in the Tier 7 Premium Japanese cruiser, the IJN Atago. Now, the first thing you should always do as a cruiser is chuck up that plane. And as I spawned her Alpha, I'm going to play Alpha. Now, a quick look at the shipping forecast. This is a game of domination and under fire. Their destroyers, the Leningrad and the Jervis. That's alright. Their cruisers, New Orleans and Knetsov. Knetsov has smoke. And then the battleships. Poltava, Lion, Double Nelson and Bismarck. So the only 16-inch battleships are the British ones. So I've come around the corner and I'm spotted. I'm targeted by two ships. And I'm just going to start angling in. So the New Orleans just fired one shot at me, strangely. So I'll give her a full volley. Now the Atago has recently had a minor adjustment, I guess you could say. She's had her repair party tweaked, just like the rest of the cruisers at Tier 7, and then she's also had an additional module which she can use. Now this additional module, Poltava, in range. Let's go for that, and then tuck in behind this. So yes, the torpedo module gives your torpedoes faster speed, but shorter range and less damage. So it hasn't exactly got me jumping for joy. So the base torpedoes do 17,233 damage, have a 10-kilometer range, travel at 62 knots, and are visible from 1.6 kilometers away. That basically means that the Atago would be able to stealth torpedo, if you kind of think of it that way. Like, you've got a good opportunity to do that. However, with these shorter range torpedoes, you can't do that. I actually really want that Jervis. We will pop with the repair. Let's see, I've done 3,000. I think I've got enough space to maybe flick out and get one more volley on the Jervis before his torpedoes turn up. There we go. And now just flick it in and get out of here. There we are, I've taken the Jervis down to half health. That's quite good. Jervis doesn't have a lot of HP as it is normally. So the torpedo module, it basically takes your torpedo damage down to 15,300, your range down to 8 kilometers, takes the speed up to 76 knots, and increases their detectability to 1.8 kilometers. Now, running the calcs, even though your torpedoes will be seen at a further distance, due to their speed, they will actually cover that distance and therefore give the enemy less time to actually react. So that's the only upside. So I think personally, to sum it up, I'm going to say probably don't bother. Save yourself the credits. It just doesn't come across as worthwhile. I mean, if they did more damage and they were more like, made them like slightly more like close quarter, like so shorter range, but they travel fast and they do more damage, you know, a bit like a knife fight torpedoes like the Russians get, but for the Japanese, so therefore they're still at semi-decent range. Maybe it makes sense, but 8-kilometer range torpedoes at Tier 7 on a cruiser is, you don't want that, because it means, say for a battleship travelling towards you that's not on the other side of an island, like in open water, you cannot stealth torpedo. You have to be seen first before you can even get those torpedoes out. Now, what's my chances? I'll put one there. I'll put one there. I'm not going to keep going around. I'm going to be a pinwheel of torpedoes here, I think. It's a shame that I just want to... There we go. So I'm still in range, only just so. So I'll put one more there. And now I'll go guns on. So I have got the shorter range torpedoes, and I think that's something you need to bear in mind with the Japanese torpedoes. Like, for a battleship, you will lose 3 bars of health easily. I mean, so that's something to bear in mind. Now, one thing they did with the Atago's repair party is they reduced the reload speed of it from 80 seconds to 60 seconds. That basically means you'll be able to chain them off a bit quicker. So the heal on the Atago heals 240 health points per second for 28 seconds. That's 6,720 HP per repair party. So it means on a fully packed commander, you can get 20,160 health back. So that's basically half your health. If you play it right, you can end up having 1.5 health, which means that you do have that kind of longevity. But then also, I think because of your because your health pool is limited to what you have as like the 40,000 there, it does mean you're still fragile if you're broadside on, so you can still get devastatingly striked. So most of their forces are left over at the Charlie objective. We just have this Nelson, so I'm going to flick out. The Nelson's got an all or nothing armor scheme, and I think my temptation would be to get a fire on her. She seems to take fire damage quite bad, so I'm going to aim. Oh, she's stopping. I'm going to aim for her superstructure, the superstructure of doom. The reason being is with HE, what you're looking for is penetrating hits on the superstructure. If you can get those, and you're getting your maximum HE damage out on them. So there you go, 3 penetrations. What you want to avoid doing is probably hitting the thicker armoured bow or the turrets, because they will give you shatters, and the shatter basically you don't get as much damage for it. There you go. You're more likely to get fires out of a penetrating hit as well, so that's something to bear in mind. So what's my plan for the rest of the game? Well, our KG5 has just got detonated by the Leningrad. We've got Alpha, we've got Bravo, so I think I'm going to harass this Nelson until he's gone. Ooh. And then they got Bismarck, so they've still got 2 other battleships and a smoke cruiser sneaking around. Now this is where it would have been nice to have the long range torpedoes, because long range torpedoes at 10 kilometers he'd be in range. Although whether or not he's still going to be around for long, I don't know, because he's going into brawl against a KGV, and the KGV should be easily able to decimate him. There we go. And they've also lost their Kuznetsov. So I'm going to use my speed as a cruiser to race over towards Charlie. So the Atago, she's quite a capable cruiser. She is available for 750,000 global XP. If you didn't get her in the Atago campaign, I can't remember the name of the actual campaign, but yeah, very capable. She has 10 8-inch guns split between 5 turrets. She has 4 torpedo launchers, 2 per side. Now the angles on them are quite interesting. You really have to start kicking yourself out. You can see that it got quite a wide stance. And then the same with the turrets. You can see I've probably got to offer them that angle, and from that angle you're pretty much broadside still, because the ricochet angles is plus or minus 45, and you're definitely just within the edge of that. However, because of your rudder, it's not going to be too hard to flick it in to say like that angle, and then flick it back out to get those turrets on. Now 3 of your 5 turrets actually face rearward, so your C turret up front, the one that isn't super firing on the bar there, so you got your A turret at the front, and you got B turret super firing over A, and then C turrets behind that. C turrets facing rearwards, same with X and Y at the back. So really what you want to be doing sometimes with this is you want to be kind of close in if you can, where you can, and then break off into like a tail chase. And if you can do a tail chase, then you can always, your turrets will traverse quicker, switching from side to side on the going backwards, well, running away if you know what I mean, retreating. So let's see, I think we're probably going to get this on points before we get to the lion, simply because the lion is way out there. Oh, unless the lion keeps killing people, then it's going to keep knocking them points in their favour. Who's with me? KG5, Turpit's a bit far off, York's way off. Why is he taking so long? So for a cruiser, this hasn't turned out to be too bad a game, but you can still see that Tier 7 is a bit more Tier 7 and 6 mixed games. You can see it's just a land of battleships. You've got 5 battleships per team, then just 2 cruisers, 2 destroyers, so not a lot of supporting vessels. It seems to be an inherent issue. I don't know how you're going to really change that. I mean, with ships like the Atago, and the Hipper, and even the Baltimore now, I'd say like cruisers have actually become more fun to play at Tier 7. I mean, for the testing that I've done for this and some of my other videos of like Tier 7 cruisers, I've actually really enjoyed them. Maybe I'm just getting lucky. However, the scores, I can't be lucky every time. Second on the team, I'm quite happy with that. Best cruiser on the team, I'm happy with that. Best cruiser in the game? Oh no, their Connect Self came first in their team. That's good then. So there are other people doing well in cruisers at this level, and you're still making quite a nice penny. Although I probably would have only made 10,000 credits if I didn't have the credit booster and I didn't have premium. So it kind of shows how punishing Tier 7 can be if you don't have those kind of assets assigned to your ship. Well, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, much appreciated. If you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. I'm the Galloping Major, and back to the port.